You think, well, everything about carnivals and parades is with the fire company. That's not true. Because we had a Lions Club carnival. And I have tried to find people who remember, maybe some of you are here tonight. Did the Lions Club have a parade?
Yeah, didn't they for a while?
I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
I think they did.
They did.
And the reason I think that they did is because I enjoyed the Lions Club parade better than the Firemen's Parade. I hate to tell you. You know, I'm a girl and I wanted pretty floats. I wanted to see pretty floats. I didn't need to see all the fire trucks. So that's why I remember the Lions Club parade. I think we had one.
They did.
And they had more
They had
horses in the parade.
jousting tournament stuff too, because the year I got my engagement ring for my husband was the Thursday afternoon of the Lions Carnival jousting, and it was always ran the last week of August. Hit my birthday every year.
All her family events are connected to carnivals and parades. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, anyhow, real quick, let me talk about the Lions Club annual parade, carnival, excuse me. It began in 1946, and I got this out of the Blue Book. It began in 1946 and was held in the town's municipal parking lot, later moving to Wildwood Park. So they had it at the parking lot. The first carnival netted a whopping profit of $750. In 1990, the Lions Club moved to the Firemen's Carnival grounds and made a profit of $22,500, a little bit better. The last year of the Lions Carnival was 2017 because it has been replaced with the Community Carnival. Is that correct? Does everybody agree with that? Okay. Now, young and old alike would get excited about the Firemen's Parade, but there were other parades. Do you remember the Kids Parade sponsored by the Kiwanis Club?
Yes, the Halloween one?
Okay, well, we're getting there. The Kids Parade ran from 1951 to 1966. Somebody did some digging in the community reporters. That's how we found
That
it.
was me and Angie.
Yes,
Directed.
yes.
We got that.
Yes.
Right,
So
yeah.
what time of year was that?
I think it was September. Wasn't it
Yeah,
September?
it was in September.
Yep, that was connected to the Kiwanis Club. And the reason I remember it is my daddy built me a little cage on a wagon, and I pulled my kitty cat and got first prize.
So where did you start and where did you end up? The parade?
Oh, that's what we haven't figured out yet.
She remembers the kitty cat.
Not where she started.
No.
I'm thinking it might have been the municipal parking lot.
I think basically it was, yes. Right.
What, that was the,
We just must have gone
went
around.
around a lot?
That's what I'm thinking.
And they didn't close the street off or anything like that. It was just, you know, kind of self-contained.
It was also, I have,
She's got pictures again.
yeah, in front of the bank, I have pictures in front of the bank, the old bank building. I also have pictures of where they came down, Park Avenue and made a turn onto what's now 27. But they also allowed traffic at that same time because the cars were driving along and the kids were walking right, it was really weird, but anyway, that's.
On the side.
Well, we're going to continue our parades and carnivals themes for a while because we're going to have, my goal is to see Susan's pictures that she's working on, and we'll do that. Anyhow, did the Lions, okay, I asked you about the parade. Ben Yu, I was talking to him, and he said that he served as chairman for 9 years. So he was a little bit knowledgeable there, but he didn't want to come in and speak to us. So we have Halloween parades.
Well, I didn't have memory of this, but I saw it written down in our newsletter that I won second place for the ugliest. I couldn't even win best ugly. I have no memory of that, so I don't know what costume I wore,
Okay.
but, you know.
Well, do you remember Halloween parades?
I
Cindy?
do, and I remember starting at the school, and I remember going up Park Avenue, and we must have stopped at the
Town parking lot.
parking lot, yeah. Because I remember one year we were all nurses or something. And,
Okay,
yes,
I don't
do
remember
remember
that.
Halloween.
Don't we have a picture of a parade coming downtown, Halloween, down?
I don't remember a
across the
Halloween
road?
tracks
No?
or something.
What about Christmas Day?
I don't, I think maybe we do have one at Christmas.
I thought so.
Anyhow, we are looking for pictures of parades. If you go digging through your archives of photographs. Then the other big parade we had was the Bicentennial Parade. That was in 1972. And when I talked to Ben Gu this past week, he said that Oscar Baker remarked that the Bicentennial Parade was the largest parade in the history of Mount Airy. And then we had a centennial parade of 1994 marking Mount Airy's 100 years. But that must not have been quite as big.
It was elaborate. They had a lot of nice. Yeah. Went up there, lights it out, yeah.
And so then somebody was asking about Christmas parades. We have Christmas parades with Santa and lighting of the tree, Christmas tree, in the parking lot or down at,
In front of the museum.
Used
to be in the parking lot.
used to be in the parking lot.
Where everybody.
Okay,
Barbara,
yes,
if you, the Lions has all of the old photo boxes, or photo books and everything. And Denny Aho can get to those. They're in the shed behind Wagner's Meat Market. And there are, totes full of all of that stuff. And they don't know what to do with it. Lions Club doesn't know what to do with it, so.
They should donate it.
Oh, boy.
Historical
Well, that was my next statement. That was my next sentence. I don't know where we're gonna put them in the
That's
museum.
right. Thank you, Wayne.
But Danny would be the one that talked about getting all those old
okay,
things.
all right. Wow, all right.
All these parades would
BJ just can't wait to get more stuff.
Yeah. So now next we're gonna have Mike, and he's gonna show us some photos, and that's the end after this.
You want to go back to the Lions Carnival 1 minute? They
Sure.
used to have a man, that Mr. Thomas, that set up a tent and he showed movies for a quarter. You would go in and have the Lions Carnival. And there was also a man came in and he made homemade french fries. Not french fries, potato chips. Put them in a little brown bag and they were the best thing. Yeah. That bag was just grease. And I think it was the Lions Club 2 years in a row, the Colts band led their parade. I would have been like 16.
Okay.
So that would be good to find those books.
Yes.
Alright, Barbara and me put together a bunch of pictures of parades that have occurred in town over the years. The first one, there was an annual farmers parade in Mount Airy, and this went on for about 20 years. It was in the early 1900s through 1920s. It proceeded down Park Avenue. I have no idea where it started. I just know it came down Park Avenue. But it was called Camp Road at the time because the park was the campground. So, but anyway, it ran down Park Avenue and it went down to the park at Wildwood Park at the end of the road. And Wildwood Park was the end of the road at the time.
Yes.
So, but all the major businesses, every one of them had a float in that parade at the time. This one here's, Charles A. Runkles and Company.
Back, thank you, 3.5.
And if you recall, they had a grain mill in town. This is, BJ's house. She's sitting on the front porch. This is, Walter Rudy, ran the drugstore in town, as you know, and this was his float right there. I could not read what the next one said, so.
That's the intersection of Park and Dorsey, right?
Yes, yes.
And then you got, oh yeah, the floats were phenomenal for the time. All horse pulled. But yeah, dirt road. But you've got, Eacho here. There was a general merchandise store. And you got the Smith Harness store was the next one. And again, I couldn't tell what the third one was.
On BJ's porch. Yeah. Anybody even on your porch? Don't ask me, I wasn't here at that time. I have no clue, there's nobody.
So now you got Frank Lewis Insurance. He was right there. He was in a couple different locations in town.
He was one of the mayors.
He was one of the mayors, yeah.
No, I know, there's nobody.
And this is A.H. Runkles. Runkles, there were, of course, there were a lot of Runkles in town, but Runkles ran a general merchandise hardware store where the F&M bank is. That there were a bunch of stores built right along there beside the mill, and Runkles' store was the first one in that line when you walk past the mill. One of the ones that burned in the fires. The Union Bridge, Cornet Bridge, and in that wagon behind him is Mayor Molesworth. You had the mayor from Frederick, you had the mayor from Ellicott City, and of course you had the mayor from Mount Airy. So that was the pictures we've got from that parade, but there were a lot more floats. There were, like I said, every business in town had a float in that parade, or they had horses or whatnot. Now, the next one's the annual Fireman's Parade, and this was like in the late 50s. The pictures aren't great, but they show some interesting things, like, for example, here shows Maryland Salvage Company that was right there on Main Street. And everybody remembers the Lynn Shop, where the train store is now, and of course the train station's in the back.
Mike, the Maryland Salvage Company was Mount Airy Auto Parts later.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't know who these bands and things. That's probably the fireman's band there. Westminster, yeah, that's what I would have guessed too. And back in there was the Queen, yeah. And then there's a couple more here. There's a fire truck going up there. And here's the big one, the biggest parade in town. This was a huge parade. It was a big deal. There was a program, I didn't put it on one of the slides, but there was a program. The parade was divided into 3 divisions, and each division had about 20 different organizations in them. They had bands, they had floats, they had the Army's color guard was there. There were a bunch of things, but it was to celebrate the nation's birthday. That's what the front of the was on the front of the program. But like I said, it listed all the different divisions and who was in each division. There were Boy Scouts groups, Girl Scout groups, you name it. This is Mayor Johnson, who was mayor at the time, Jared Johnson. And he was in Division 1. And it says Centennial, but it's actually, these pictures, we got boxes full of pictures. And they were all mixed up, Centennial, Bicentennial, you name it. I just combined them all, because I didn't know which was which. Yeah, I mean, you may know better than me, but, I
Well,
just.
yeah, I was the treasurer of both those events.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
Well, which one was at night and which one was at a day?
Well,
I think the
the one with
bicentennial
Jerry,
was
the
at
one with
night.
Jerry
Yeah,
Johnson in it, that would have been the
bicentennial was at
1994.
night.
Yeah,
All right. So then the Centennial was during the day?
yeah.
Okay. So that's, the ones that are at night are the Bicentennial. The ones in the light are day. Yeah, it's actually called a Crean String Band, but everybody calls them the Mummers, and they're from Philadelphia. So these groups came from all over the place.
Are they going up Main Street towards the?
Yeah, they're coming different direction. They're coming north.
They ended it.
Okay, we figured that out. They turned themselves around in their, marching.
Oh,
And then they're doing
Okay,
movements and all, then
okay.
they turn and go the other direction, and then they turn back
Okay.
around.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get what you're saying.
In front of the.
Nice
Okay.
So what we do?
It just looked like they were heading north on Main.
Yeah, that was town hall, so that had to
Ball
be
gets.
bicentennial,
Right.
that wasn't the centennial.
And these are we can't say Washington Redskins, but
Oh.
these are the Washington Redskin Hogs.
The team formerly known as the Washington Redskins.
There you go.
Well, that's sponsored by Century Ford. When did Century Ford come into Mount Airy? Would that have been the Centennial, the 90s?
Yeah.
So,
So this is the
Yeah.
bicentennial.
Yeah, this is the flag float. And whenever I get, the program, I was lucky the program listed each of the floats, the name of them, and who sponsored them. So by looking at the pictures and looking at the program, I could figure out most of them.
Mike, now this might be a stupid question, but, okay, we're talking centennial and bicentennial. And Pat says she was at both.
Yes, I was the treasurer.
It is.
The bicentennial, yeah, I can.
Okay, is one of the town and one of our country?
Yes, yes.
Gotcha,
Yes.
cause I didn't think Pat was that old.
The centennial was in
Okay, gotcha.
1976, it was the 200th anniversary of the United States.
I gotcha, I
Okay.
gotcha
The other one in
now.
1994 was the 100th anniversary of the town Mount Airy. Right.
Now I'm caught up.
I'm glad you are.
Ray Simpson was in charge of the bicentennial one, and Travis was in charge of the centennial.
Right, and that's right, Centennial,
Yeah,
yep.
we met for years, planning both of those.
Yep. Yep. And it showed. I mean, unfortunately, the town didn't put a lot of effort into one to the next one. Cinderella float.
Ooh.
That was a very nice one there. This is the Harmony Cornet Band that we were talking about earlier. Yep, and they do ride in the wagon now.
Well, the cornet band. It's not for that cornet. It doesn't have a horn.
Right. And there's the,
Name was Spurrier.
yep, Miss Spurrier.
I was gonna say, did they turn too?
They probably did.
I don't know. Because the guy in front would have been in the back.
Well, but they walked through. They walked through the, I don't know, that's the best
Well, maybe that
explanation I
parade
can
did
get.
go the
I
opposite
think that
direction.
parade went the other
I wasn't there.
I wasn't
I
there.
wasn't there either.
I was in the Navy, I was out at sea.
Excuse me.
I was over last week.
But like I said, the floats in that parade were really something. This is Division II, as you can see. And I put Centennial, yeah.
Yeah. Shriners. Yeah.
Yep, the Shriners. Linganore High School.
Yeah, they didn't turn around.
No,
That parade was going north.
It ended at the elementary school.
There you go.
Where did it start?
Okay, up down there.
There you go.
Oh, so, oh,
Did
it
it,
went
Jimmy?
different direction.
Yes, they went the opposite of that.
Okay. I'll believe you.
How they make that little.
Yeah.
Roy Rogers.
Now, that's the train station, they're going the other way.
Now see, they're coming the other way.
Yeah, they go.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh goodness, did they meet in the middle?
Different parade.
These people were in the Centennial Parade also. I mean, if you look at the program, a lot of the ones that were in the bicentennial were also in, Centennial. There's the
Airy
Bulldogs.
cheerleaders.
Yep. Now, this is the Fireman's Parade, and it's fairly recent. I mean, it's when Pat Rockenberg was still here. So,
Yeah, that's.
I don't know exactly which year it was, but it's in the last few years. And they had some floats in this parade also. And the lady, VFW. Yeah, that's the American Legion's truck.
Yeah.
They ran.
Little state farm insurance. Damascus Community Center. And the Girl Scouts.
Now that's taken up by the school.
Right.
Yeah, that's where that one started.
A lot of these, yeah. A lot of these pictures are up at the school.
So it was a fireman's parade that changed the direction, hey, Jimmy?
No,
No.
we've always
okay.
gone that way.
I've got a pick on you, Jimmy.
Straight as an arrow.
Oh, you're straight as an arrow, okay, you don't cause trouble, right?
Lights and sirens gotta get used sometimes.
I think it's closer to the station.
And there's the Harmony Cornet Band again.
The bandwagon.
Yep.
Kind of watch it. Fun to watch that wagon that bounces and play the music.
You're not getting anybody.
And then there were a couple tractors in there.
There, Jimmy, there's Mount Airy.
Rescue one.
Yep, and that's the end of it.
All right.